Okay, so I should be working on this project for my university writing class, but let's just play some FIFA. I'll do it later.
Bet. Okay.
I'll be Liverpool. Who do you want to be?
Uh, yeah, I'll be Newcastle. Didn't they get like bought recently or something?
Yeah, they did. They're pretty rich.
Oh, nice. Bet. Then I'm definitely gonna be them.
So what you've just seen is a prime example of sports washing. You may be wondering what sports washing even is. Well, it's when a company or state buys or invests in a sports team, franchise, league, anything like that, and they use that influence to launder their international reputation. Now, sports washing can be seen in Saudi Arabia's recent bid to take over Newcastle United in England and Qatar's successful 2022 bid for the World Cup. The Saudi Arabian-led takeover of Newcastle is a prime example of sports washing. The government has tried to divert the global conversation away from the issues that Saudi Arabia has when it comes to dealing with LGBTQ rights, their consistent ranking at the foot of human rights indexes, and the 2018 murder of political journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Now you might remember that case of Jamal Khashoggi. He was a Saudi Arabian journalist who had fled to the United States under fear of death after he criticized Mohammed bin Salman, the leader of Saudi Arabia. Although Khashoggi walked into that Saudi Arabian embassy, he never walked out. Allegedly, he was attacked, tortured, and killed by Saudi Arabian assassins sent directly from Mohammed bin Salman. By buying Newcastle United, the Saudi Arabian government will now pump in loads of money, turn the club to an extremely powerful player on not only the domestic but also the global scale, and will try and have Saudi Arabia be tied deeply in connection with that success from Newcastle. And that diverts the mind away from the suffering and all the negativity of the Saudi Arabian regime. In both cases, the ruling governments are trying to diversify their economies away from solely just being natural resources and mainly oil towards being more tourism based. Now Qatar will hope that having launched their names in the minds of billions across the world, that they can use some of that positive influence to get some more tourists to come to Qatar. However, both the Newcastle United takeover and Qatar World Cup were both business deals that transpired with the transfer of cold, hard cash. Now, that was about 300 million euros for the Newcastle deal and a couple million in under-the-table bribes to FIFA executives for Qatar. Now, although that money wasn't spent to get people to drop what they're doing and get on a plane to Qatar, the money still has worked. The unfortunate fact is that today, everything in our lives has become so commercialized that our eyes and the time they spend looking at different things cost money too and have an impact on the world. Qatar used that money to buy our attention and to plant a seed. A seed so that when the world thinks of Qatar, they think a little slice of heaven that hosted one of the most entertaining World Cups in history. Now, all of this is not to say that fans have not made significant strides to improving sporting matters on and off the field. In the United States, we've seen fans of the Washington Commanders make significant strides in ousting their owner Dan Snyder, and across the pond in England, a professional football team named Forest Green Rovers, in part due to fan help, have become a trend-setting club wholly focused on the environment. Now your attention, just like your money, is an extension of you that reflects back on you. Because of this, we have to stay wary of what we endorse with our time, our attention, and our money. With this knowledge of the importance of our attention and the understanding of the bad intentions behind some of sport's biggest deals, does that mean that we should boycott all teams owned by bad owners? Where does that leave Newcastle fans? They supported the team before the Saudi Arabian takeover. It's not their fault. But if they do support the team, then they're directly helping support the cause of a dictatorial regime. Although it is tempting to treat the symptom of the issue, the focus must be on preventing their messages from gaining traction. This is, unfortunately, the area where issues arise. There is no line that you can draw in the sand of what morality you're okay with and what you aren't. It may be easy to criticize those who went to the Qatar World Cup and paid inordinate amounts of money to live lavishly off the suffering of migrant workers. But, arguably, it is as, if not more immoral, that the phones that we all use today include metals mined by child slaves in Africa. But the responsibility of sports fans to understand who they're owned by and what they represent is often overlooked. In today's society, it's almost impossible to be an entirely moral consumer. But this excuse of group imperfection should not be used to stop real progress from being made. Fans should demand the best from their owners, their players, and the league. Because as fans, we are the commodity, and we need to demand better from everyone. Especially in the business of sports washing, where not only our attention, but our opinions are what is trying to be bought. Vocalization is crucial to combat the propaganda machine. So stay wary of possible attempts at sports washing. Whether it's a dictatorship buying up your rival, or an environmentally damaging shirt sponsor, make sure to stay vigilant with your purchases, because the privilege of your money, your time, or your energy is one that only the best companies should be afforded. Returning back to that FIFA game from the beginning, in the next decade, if Newcastle had been revived and are now once again a titan of the global game, with children immediately playing as Newcastle whenever they get on FIFA, then their status as world's best owner will be secure and their goals will be complete. In the end, the choice is ours. Do we want to speak up for what is right?